So the first one that jumps out to me is there is a really strong connection between disgust rhetoric and evoking the emotion of disgust and immigration. Immigrants are often described in terms that specifically evoke disgust reactions. Like we talk about, we talk about immigrants as being dirty, as being, being from a place where they might bring in illness with them. We often describe them as being sort of like, outcasts or outside threats to the United States, and all of this stuff actually taps into a disgust reaction. And there are a couple papers right now in the political science world that outline how a sense or emotion of disgust is actually related to anti-immigrant sentiment, which is pretty interesting. There's another area where disgust plays a big role in politics, and that's in genetically modified foods. And so, and one kind of thing that's interesting about this argument is it may in fact be liberals and liberal disgust sensitivity that leads people to be in opposition to genetically modified foods. And so you see this a lot in sort of the campaigns to have GMO labeling, to have bans on GMO food. GMO is genetically modified organism. So it's this idea that food has been scientifically modified. We usually modify food to make it less perishable, so it lasts longer. Sometimes we modified food to make it yield more, and so you can grow more food on a smaller part of land. But people have these fears that by having the scientists tinker with our food, they might be introducing, pollutants or contaminants. And so you see this rhetoric about, GMO food is like putting foreign DNA or putting arsenic or other kinds of not arsenic, but other kinds of poisons into foods. And all of that appeal is like very specifically targeted at trying to get people to feel disgust and feel visceral disgust.
It gets back to trust as well. And I think liberals are more apt to trust government at times, less apt to trust corporations. And so people, if you want to play to liberals, it's like, well, big pharma is trying to sell you the latest drug that's going to addict you and it's going to be bad for your health. And so you don't want to take anything that has chemicals in it, even though our whole bodies are chemistry. But anyway, and GMOs are, we used to call them hybrids, but now we call them GMOs. But I mean, a lot of it is what institutions we trust